Welcome to my channel, and this is Brijesh. Today I have a very important topic which most of us uh, think, and that topic that question is: Did Modi government do anything for farmers? That's a very important question because most of the governments try to claim they are farmers friendly. Is that true for Modi government? Let's look at some of the schemes which they are running or which they have brought for farmers or in the name of farmers, right? Right. So one of the important schemes which Modi government brought that that was very early in the first term, right? And that was Dhan Yojana, right? What does that mean? It means that each and every individual in the country should have a bank account, right? So, and so, question is how many people got benefited out of that? So, if you look at it, we have 40 crores, 70 lakh people have benefited out of it. And that those accounts, primarily those accounts were zero balance account, right? And now those accounts have 1,29,707 crores money in those accounts. So that's a pretty huge balance, right? If you look at in terms of the money and all, right? So let's move to the next scheme, which was brought by the Modi government. Basically, this is a minimum support price for farm produce, and this is something which has been going on. And with this government, they have continued the same thing. But the question is, what is different in this? So there was one data which was during the previous governments. Okay, they did the procurement of 7.92 million metric tons of farm produce, right? And Modi government has done somewhere close to 90 lakh metric tons, right? So that's a huge commitment from the Modi government, right? Let's move to the next. That is Kisan Sammaan Nidhi. What is that, right? That's also one of a very important scheme, okay, and which they brought it during the primarily the end of the first term. That okay, and so basically what it was that every year 6,000 rupees will be credited to farmer's account, right? So basically it's something which is you're thanking the farmer, right? But apart from that, this amount might seems to be very small amount, but being I'm from a farmer's family, and I understand that this uh, 6,000 rupees in a year in three installments, right, is a good amount of money, right? It will it helps them to manage some of the things, right? So that's pretty good thing, right? And this will kind of like it will primarily this will be a helping hand for the farmers, right? Next is one of the flagship projects of Modi government, that is Fasal Bima Yojana, right? So if you look at it, basically what is this? This is an insurance scheme for the farmers. Okay, so if he go if the farmer is growing wheat, so, okay, so he can go ahead and insure the farm. He basically insured the crop, right? And since the scheme has come into effect, right, let's look at the amount of claim which has been processed, okay, by the government. That is, the claims worth 77,000 crore has been paid against a premium of 17,500 crores. So basically, for every crop, farmers can insure it, and it varies from one crop to other. So there are some of the premiums have 1.5% of the uh, of the crop which is being sown over there, right? So that's a pretty good significant thing which kind of like helps, okay. And India is a very diverse country, right? So you have people or crops getting damaged if there is no rain, and crops getting damaged because of excess rain. So that's something which will save farmers a lot over there, right? And I think that's a pretty good scheme, but over a period of time, this needs to improve, kind of like looked into new things over there, right? Okay, this is something which is a very controversial scheme, okay, and that was brought by Manmohan Singh government. That is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Scheme, right? Basically, so that was something which BJP, when they were in opposition, they were against it, okay, and they said that it doesn't serve any purpose and all, right? But once they have come into government, kind of like they have they have not only let it continue the employment scheme, but at the same time they have increased the budgetary allocations for that, right? So if you look at the like from in financial year 17, it was 42,000 crores, and now if you look at it, oh, right, if you look at financial year 2020, right, that is something close to 71,000. So it's almost they have doubled it, right? So that's a pretty huge thing and a huge commitment also. And one more thing, the minimum wages has also considerably increased, and it has gone somewhere close to 250 to 300 rupees a day, right? So that's a pretty good amount, right? And many of the times, people engaged in businesses have complained that because of the Manrega, they are not getting labor, right? Or they are not getting cheap labor. So that's a good thing also, as well as something which is something which is not good for the trader community or the industrialists or even for the household also, right? Now let's move on to Kisan credit card. Basically, it's a credit card given to a farmer, okay, and in that, if you look at it, he can the interest rate in that credit card is just 2%, right? Okay, and you can they can avail a loan of up to 1.6 lakh rupees. It also the credit card can also cover the insurance scheme also, which we talked earlier, right? So apart from that, there are other benefits out of it. So, but what's so different about it? One of the in India, this thing which is usually farmers don't get credit or they don't get loans. Okay, most of the banks don't go ahead and lend a loan to them, right? So what used to happen was that a farmer will go to a money lender, okay, and he will take loan at the rate of 10%, 15%, 20%. Sometimes it used to go up to 30% also, right? So that's something which will save them from uh, cruel money lenders. So that's again a thumbs up from my side. right? Now let's move to a direct benefit transfer, right? Direct benefit transfer is the byproduct of Jan Dhan Yojana, right? And what does it mean? Is that whatever the money government wants to give it to a person or farmer in terms of support, okay, will directly go to his or her bank account. And if you look at it, this figure, that's 12 lakh 60,596 crores have been transferred to beneficiaries' account directly, right? That's a huge, huge thing because there was a time when Rajiv Gandhi, the former prime minister, said that if the center releases 1 rupee, okay, the benefit by the time the beneficiary receives the money is just the 10 paisa. So the beneficiary receives only 10%. Now it is 100%. So in that way, this is beautiful. Thumbs up again for it. Now next is neem coated urea, right? Now people would be asking why it is such a big scheme or a success for Modi government. The reason is that I being from a farmer's family and I have known that whenever you need to get the fertilizers and all, it used to be a big chaos. Either you have to go to those shops or the place where you get it at very early, and the stock would kind of like get over very very quickly, right? What was the reason for that? Since these fertilizers can be used in other industries, right? So these stockholders or the people who are delegated to distribute it to farmers, they will go ahead and sell it to the industries, right? So now what is the present condition, right? Now fertilizers are easily available because 10% of the fertilizers are name coated, means that no more those fertilizer or urea can be used in industries. So that's a good thing now. As and when a farmer wants fertilizers, he can go ahead and get it. So there is no black marketing, nothing of that kind. Now let's look at the health of farmers. And in that case, I would say toilets and gas cylinders, primarily if you look at the farmer's family, especially the woman. Okay, in this front, government has done again a fantastic work. So if you look at it till now, somewhere close to more than 10 crore toilets have been built, right? So that's a huge, huge, huge number. And if you look at it alone in 2021 financial year, 31 lakhs, approximately 32 lakh toilets have been built. And so far, 706 districts have been declared as open defecation free districts. So that's a huge success because before Modi government came to power, that rate was somewhere close to 20% or 30%, right? 30% of the households. Now this number is somewhere close to 97%, 98%. That's a huge success, right? In terms of health, right? And also to give dignity to women, to sisters and mothers, right? Next is again related to women. Okay, in most of our village areas, okay, the primary source of cooking fuel would be cow dung cakes. Okay, then the wood and all these things will be there. And these are not healthy options, and most of the times people used to uh, use these things because there was no substitute, or there was no availability of gas cylinders and all, or even if the gas cylinders are available in those areas, right? uh, it was not feasible. People can't afford it and all. So when the Modi government came into power, Okay, they give it as free, right? So that's kind of like a very nice thing. Once people have those things, right, they will make sure that they will make budgetary allocation in for when they are doing the budget for the month for a cylinder also, right? So that's kind of like overall, if I look at it, 8 crore households, right, have got it, and that's has greatly improved the health and of women as well as the time which they save it. Okay, that's huge, right? And it gives them more time to concentrate on something else, right? So they can use that those time saved for something productive. Now look at to something which is again a first for India, right? That's a eNAM portal basically. So it's this is a portal which brings the farmers, traders, industries, processing industries on a one electronic platform, online platform basically, right? So this is basically a place where farmers can get a good rate for their produce, as well as industries can take the benefit out of that. That's also a good thing. Okay. Next is something which is soil health card, and this was something which was proposed when Modi was a chief minister of Gujarat, right? So that's something which he has brought it uh, when he has come to power. And what does it mean that? So any area which is there is a survey, there will be testing will be done, and then basically a soil health card is issued. So basically, it tells what kind of land it is, what crops can be grown, and crops which can give the better yield, right? And based on that, the farmers can decide what to sow over there. So that's again is a very good thing, and it has been going, and it greatly helps the farmers to understand the land which they have and how best they can get benefit out of that. And this soil health card is issued every 3 years. So that's again a very good thing. Next is related to the uh, food park. Okay. And these food parks are basically food processing units, right? And government has proposed somewhere close to 37 mega food parks. And out of that, 19 mega food parks are already operational. They are working and they are giving benefits to the farmers, and rest are in different phases of construction. So that's a good thing. Now there was one more thing was that basically the produce which is happening, okay, the crop and all, especially the vegetables, fruits, okay, these are perishable items and they don't have a very uh, long shelf life basically, right? So it needs to reach to the end user as soon as possible. Okay, and there were earlier very less options were available, so a farmer has to sell it to a local trader at whatever the price they are getting. Now he can ship it via train to places like Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Pune, or whichever is something which is very close to or it has a bigger market, right? So that again kind of like a good initiative by the government. Now coming to health. Health is we discussed toilets and the gas cylinder, right? Coming to something which is in a family, if someone goes ahead and has to go for a medical surgery or even for something say where a immediate investment of 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees is needed, right? And primarily, even India is growing at a faster pace. Still, a huge chunk of population is below poverty line, or I would say, even if they are above poverty line. Also, there are many times it becomes very difficult for people to afford the medical facilities. So what does it do? This particular facility, it goes ahead and gives five. It basically it insures the family for 5 lakh rupees for a family for 1 year for every year, right? And so far, 50 crore people have benefited out of it. So that's again something which is fantastic, and this would enable medical facilities to expand their bases in smaller towns, and and this will be a good thing. Now let's look at to something which is India is known for. India is known as a knowledge hub, or I would say the software. Okay, and if we want these benefits to be passed on to farmer community or people who are not living in uh, big cities or even tier 1 tier 2 cities, tier 2 3 cities also, of people are living into villages and all, right? If they want to have the same kind of facility, they need to. Okay, so what needs to be done? Government has come up with the optical fiber mission, basically broadband mission. Basically by 2022, all the villages will be connected with the optical fiber. Okay, and the minimum speed which they can be assured of 15 mbps. So that's a huge thing. And once it is done, okay, my office is there, say in Bangalore, and if I go to my village, okay, I can do work from home right over there. So that's beautiful. Now, if I have to go to my village, I'm worried whether I will get a good internet connection or not. So that's something which is fantastic. And recently, Andaman and Nicobar has got the optical fiber network. I visited 1 year back to Andaman and Nicobar, and the internet was horribly low. Right, it was super low, and now they have the same kind of bandwidth or the broadband facilities which a person in Bangalore or any of the metropolitan city has it. So that's something which I will look for. Now, this is PM Awaas Yojana. Basically, the target for Modi government is for everyone to have their own house. Okay, that is by 2022, and in 2019 they have achieved a partial target of somewhere close to 1 crore houses. And these houses, basically, either if somebody is below poverty line, it is constructed free of cost, okay, or at a very lesser interest rate. So basically they have government funds to a certain level, okay, and so that's also a super initiative. And believe me, many people have benefited out of it in cities as well as in villages. So that's a good scheme. Now let's look at to Pradhan Mantri Kisan Pension Yojana. What does it mean? It simply means that after the age of 60 years, a farmer can get a pension of 3,000 rupees on a monthly basis, right? So what, and he has to pay a very small premium. The premium, say for example, if someone enrolls for this particular scheme, say at the age of 18, the premium is as low as 65 to 80, and the upper scale goes up to 180 rupees, right? So people can up till the age of 40 can enroll for this particular scheme. So that's something which is very great, and it will help say up to 5 in the range of 5 crore small and marginal farmers. So that's also something which is nice to have it at the age, say, of 60 years and above, right? So something is better than nothing. So that's good initiative. Now let's look at to something which has been done in today. Today, Rajya Sabha has passed Farm Bill 2020, right? What basically is that? I would say this is mother of all reforms done by the Indian government, or especially done by the Modi government. Was that earlier every village or every town or every village, every town and all, they will have basically markets will be there, mandis in India we call it, and there is a group of people, there are there are basically societies and all are there. So farmer doesn't have any choice. If he produces something, he has to sell it to those societies only. And these societies kind of like they make money out of that. Say for example, during the harvest season, okay, any crop will, if the supply is more, the prices which a farmer gets will also be less. Say for example, if a farmer gets for potatoes, if he gets 2 rupees or 3 rupees or 5 rupees a kg, right? The same society or the traders or the middleman, they will take the same potato and sell it to a city or to end user, say for 25 or 30 rupees, right? So that's a huge gap. There's a gap of 5 rupees and 30 rupees. So what happens to that particular money in between money? So there is a huge profit was being made by the traders, middlemen, and others, right? So that's something which is good. Apart from that, a farmer is free. He can sell his produce to whomsoever he wants to. If he wants to sell it to Reliance, he can sell it. If he wants to sell it to Tata's, if he wants to sell it to Amazon or Walmart or Big Basket, he can go ahead and sell it. Now there is no restriction for him that he can't take his produce to, say, a different state. If he is there in, say, in Punjab, he can take his produce and sell it in to Haryana, right? So those things, those barriers have gone, and these things will kind of like help the whole market. Like basically the corporates or the companies like Reliance or Tata's or these people who are there in the retail business, they would directly like to procure it from the farmers, right? The example which I gave of potato being sold to the middleman at 5 rupees a kg. Now, at least he will get 10 or 15 rupees. 10 rupees, say. At least his income doubles right over there. Even if he gets 10 rupees instead of 5 rupees, his income gets doubled. That's brilliant, isn't it? Even at the end user will benefit. Say, so if Reliance you takes his transportation charges and everything and sells to the end user at 18 to 20 rupees, end user saves 5 rupees or 6 to 7 rupees. So at least he is saving 20 to 30% because of this particular farm bill. So that's something which is nice. Very good, thumbs up. And a lot of parties are protesting against it. So friends, these are basically the activities which government has done, right? And there's all these, when I look at it, it empowers the farmers. It helps to improve his life, his day-to-day life, his future, his old age, his way of living. Everything kind of like improves, right? And that's a big, big thing. In India, people take votes, take everything, right, in the name of farmers, but hardly anything ever is being done. Even if something is being done, it is done only on the paper. Hardly the schemes are made, right? But hardly any of the schemes reach out to the farmers, right? And that is something where I feel Modi government is a little different. They are the ones they have very good implementation. And I hope and I am sure these all these things will greatly improve the condition of our farmers, and it will help us to take our GDP and the growth of our nation to next level. So friends, thank you very much for giving your time, and if you like the video, do like it and subscribe the channel. And also if you can share it, that would be brilliant. So once again, thanks for watching. You have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.